Serie A is not enough. And European, not even dominance, just one European cup. That's just what they crave at that club, because, as I said, the other European clubs around there, you think of Real Madrid, Barcelona, AC Milan, even Liverpool winning 6 European Cups, you need to do that. That's what Juventus need to do to really put themselves really up there. They are one of the great clubs, but to go out against Lyon, that is, in some ways, one of the perfect draws for them, really. So, I mean, a massive blow. Ronaldo shows himself again, exactly what he is. But, as I said, we just seen the head of the club there coming down the steps. I think the next decision, I'll be very surprised if Sarri's not told after the game or in the morning he's not in a job next season.
If you bring Sarri in, though, to completely switch up the way they're playing, the style of football that they're playing, do you not need to give him the time to allow that to work and really take effect?
Time to win the Champions League? I'm not sure. I mean, he doesn't need time to win Serie A. I think, well, you're a manager. Me and him could win Serie A with Juventus. Maybe not him. Maybe not him. But I don't think that's an achievement this season. That will be seen as a really poor season from Sarri.
Do you think the disappointment today is that, and we spoke before the game, we knew exactly what the game was going to be about. Lyon were going to set up defensively, well structured. Juventus had to break them down. A top team, that's what you want. A top team, you get the ball, I'll find a way to break you down, I'll score 1, 2, 3 goals. Today, straight away, you could see Juventus were not in control. They were not that team, they were in a different level. Lyon, they only played 1 competitive game and 1 friendly for the 12 games that Juventus had. So there is something there fundamentally that is not right.
Ronaldo done his job, though. You know, we talked about the money that has been invested in him. He's coming in, he scored 2 goals tonight. He's got a lot of goals in the league as well. You know, we talk about managers getting time. Like, if you've got to look at the players, that team is set up for Serie A to win that. But European, we've set evidence tonight that it's not good enough.
But it's a difficult situation as well. You see Pjanic, one of the most influential players, is already a Barcelona player. That's never happened before. Just because of the current situation, you're playing Champions League football with Juventus, and you're already signed and being presented by Barcelona. It's so unusual what's happened this season that probably that's the only justification that you can give.
16, it's a really big scalp for Lyon, whose away goal stood them in very good stead for tonight. Let's take a look at the highlights from this game, see how this one would play out. Controversial call leading to that first goal, Jamie. It
was. I mean, it starts with Higuain losing the ball sloppily there in his own half, and then, I mean, it's for that clip, it's not the tackle. If you see there now, he's trying to pull out the way. Number 33, Bernardeschi, and it's a shocking decision. The referee gives it, he makes a mistake, understandable. It goes to VAR, and he don't right the wrong, but Memphis Depay, coolness personified, and then you're always up against it with the away goal.
All right, fantastic. Let's go to the next one. Equaliser. This is how this one played out. Again, another controversial call.
Yeah, I've seen him give him, I've seen him not. To be fair, the rule states, is it unnatural? Maybe a little bit, but the man of the moment, Ronaldo, I mean, he just does it time and time and time again. He's just got a cool head. He didn't deserve to be on the losing, or going out of the competition today. And I really feel sorry for him, to be honest, because he deserves to be playing in the later rounds of this competition.
All right, let's take you on to the next goal then.
And it was no surprise. The first goal comes from a penalty. I thought Juventus couldn't break them down. And the other second-best chance was from distance. And that's Ronaldo, who better. With his left foot in this side, he comes inside, and it's impossible for Anthony Lopez to get a clear touch. We were talking with Peter Schmeichel if going with that hand was a better decision than going to his natural hand there. But don't take anything away from that shot. It catches goalkeepers by surprise. The distance, but the accuracy. It was the only way that you could see Juventus really getting a real threat in front of the goal.
They did keep peppering the goal, didn't they? They didn't have a shortage of chances to find that goal that really mattered and that would have got them through, or at least got them to extra time.
Well, you'd expect that. I mean, this was in the first half. There's a fantastic skill. And I don't know if he just switches off right at the end. I think it's Bernardeschi there and there. You know, he's a player you've played with, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, I mean, this is unbelievable skill. And
wow.
I think he thinks the job's done. And listen, somewhere like that, I have to give credit to the defender.
What about this save? What an absolute great save that is. You know, we're not celebrating here, but we're all cheering and thinking a great free kick, and the keeper to save that. Outstanding save. Another one there.
But again,
Ronaldo.
But that ball situation, we've seen a free kick, we've seen a corner, and we've seen a little bit of a skill of Bernardeschi. But in general, if you're Rudy Garcia, you are delighted with the performance. So over 180 minutes, you kept the discipline, you kept the belief, you kept the distances. They were sharp on the break. They created the first penalty. They ended up with 5 bodies in the box. I thought the performance from Lyon's point of view, of course, the story is Juventus not being through.
The performance from the coach.
The performance from Lyon is fantastic. Yes, Rudy Garcia.
You perform from the coach. You bring Sarri in as an elite coach, done really well at Napoli. That's why they've brought him in. He's done really well in Serie A. Almost pipped Juventus to the title a couple of years ago. And that's one of the big reasons, again, why I just don't see him being in the job at the start of next season, because in some ways he's being outthought by the opposition's manager. Roberto said before the game, the actual system that Lyon played in the first game, the problems it gave Juventus, again tonight. And as I said, I don't see how there can't be a change in the hot seat at Juventus.
So was that part of the problem, that Sarri hadn't learned the lessons from the first leg?
Well, it certainly looks like. I mean, it wasn't a different sort of shape, certainly in the second leg from Lyon. Roberto's just mentioned, and rightly so. What we're looking at is set pieces, really. You know, Ronaldo headed from a corner, a free kick, Pjanic, where they get the penalty from also. But in terms of open play, they very rarely looked like opening up. I mean, Higuain's been a great striker and a great goal scorer, certainly for Sarri as well, at Napoli. But at this level now, I just don't think he has the mobility to be playing at this level.
You had Paulo Dybala, and Dybala was a big miss. You're talking about having the right players at the right moments. Dybala has been carrying with an injury. He protected him. I think he did the right decision, Maurizio Sarri, to have him there just in case he brings him on, and he had to take him off again, and he's at 21 years old, that he has to come and play the last few minutes. So obviously in football, and sometimes we don't speak about that, you have to be lucky. And the truth is that today, Juventus didn't have any luck in their hands.
So when we look at a team like Lyon, a team that you consider a smaller team, so to speak, on the European stage, right? And they put a team like Juventus with all these big-name players and kind of the expectations that are on Juventus. Do you now look at Lyon and think this is a team that can potentially go forward and cause Manchester City some trouble?
You know, the real advantage is being in a competition that you already... The success is just to be there. The enjoyment, the players will be...
The pressure is off.
No pressure whatsoever.
Right.
But I think we've seen... this Lyon side is a very intriguing side. They got really young players. They're really quality young players that they play for each other, but they play the system. And then they got the real quality. Memphis Depay. The way he takes the penalty shows you the real arrogance, the real quality. But Lyon now is the team that almost you want to face him, but they've got nothing to lose. And that makes them a great
thing for them, Roberto, is the fact that it's one game. If it was 2 games, we'd say 100% Man City will go through. Man City are still huge favourites, aren't they, you'd imagine? But as we said before the show, it's completely different now. That one game in Portugal, obviously no supporters there. Yeah. It could be a difficult game for City.
I agree, but I just think Man City will have too much quality.
Oh, I agree.
You know,
I
just
agree.
because they've not been, you know, that one game, they're going to make sure they get all the tactics right this time. If it was a bigger club going forward, a more experience, but I think because it's Lyon, I think they'll give them that just a little bit more confidence.
I think it'll add something to the celebrations in the dressing room. If you're Man City and you've got through against Real Madrid and you think you're going to play Juventus in the next leg and then it's Lyon, Pep Guardiola won't let them celebrate or cheer or get excited, but privately they'll all be going home tonight thinking, that's a right result for us. No Juventus in the next round.
Yeah.
Changes the brackets, huh? Yeah. We spoke about the brackets before this game.
Well, hang on a second.
You want an outlier, don't you?
Well, I said, the underdog. Sometimes when you go in and being the underdog, it's less pressure. You can play with freedom, can't you?
With Madrid and Juventus both out, 2 underdogs went through.
You've been ripping City. What's your problem with City, Cara?
All right, listen, we're going to bring you plenty more after the break. Loads to talk about, of course, on a night that 2 big teams have exited the Champions